Good morning, students. Today we will be discussing about third method of circular convolution, that is using DFT and IDFT. In our previous lecture we have discussed about matrix method of circular convolution and its numerical. So before proceeding to our today's topic, first question is why the result of circular and linear convolution is not same. And circular convolution and linear convolution have been discussed in our previous lecture. In circular convolution, y of m as output, that is having the same number of samples as that of x of n and h of n. Here x of n and h of n are two input sequence. So let us assume x of n is having 8 samples, h of n is also having 8 samples. So output y of n also contains 8 samples. Let us take another example. If x of n is having 4 samples, h of n is having 4 samples, so output also having say 4 samples. But in linear convolution, the equation is n is equal to L plus m minus 1. L is how many number of samples are there in x of n sequence. Means n is number of samples in x of n. M is number of samples in h of n. So let us take x of n having 4 samples, h of n having 3 samples. So according to this equation, n is equal to 4 plus 3 minus 1, that is equal to 6. Now conclusion is x of n is having 4 samples, h of n is having 3 samples, but output y of n is having 6 samples. So that means the output circular and linear convolution is not same. Let's take another one example more. Now, for example, x of n is 1, 2, 3 and h of n sequence as minus 1, minus 2, 0, 3. So in linear convolution, our first step is find out the range of n and k. First is range of n. In x of n sequence, the range of n is 0, 1, 2. Because x of n is having 3 samples. H of n is having 4 samples. So range of n is 0, 1, 2, 3. To find out the range of output y, first is lower range of y. Lower range of y is equal to lower range of x plus lower range of h. Now lower range in both the sequence 0, 0, 0 plus 0 is 0. Second is higher range of y, that is equal to x higher range and h higher range. X higher range is 2, h higher range is 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. So again we can verify it according to this equation, that is n is equal to L plus m minus 1. L is 3 samples, h having 4 samples, so m is 4. 3 plus 4 is 7, 7 minus 1 is 6. 6 means n is 0 to 5. So that's why the result of linear convolution and circular convolution is not same. Now let's move to our third method of circular convolution, that is using DFT and IDFT method. First of all, we already know about the formulas of DFT and IDFT in matrix form. DFT formula in matrix form is x of n is equal to twiddle factor in matrix form and into x of n sequence in matrix form. Whereas the IDFT inverse discrete Fourier transform formula is x of n is equal to 1 divided by n into twiddle factor conjugate into x of n, that is DFT of x of n. Now steps of third method, that is DFT and IDFT method. First is to obtain the DFT of first sequence. Suppose we have two sequence x of n and h of n. So first step is to find out the DFT of x of n, that is x of n in matrix form. Second step is to obtain the DFT of h of n, that is second sequence. Therefore we have to obtain h of n matrix form, DFT of h of n. Third is multiply x of n and h of n to obtain y of n. To find out the output, multiply x of n and h of n, because the four discrete. And last step is to obtain the IDFT of this output y of n, that is y of n. So this is using method of DFT and IDFT. Now the question is, find out the circular convolution using DFT and IDFT method of these two sequence as x of n and h of n. Both are having 4-point DFTs, 4 samples, so n is 4. So first step is x of n is 1 2 3 1 and h of n is 4 3 2 2. So first step is find out the DFT of x of n, that is x n in matrix form. The formula of DFT in matrix form is x of n is equal to twiddle factor into x of n. Now twiddle factor is it is a 4-point DFT because x of n and h of n are having 4 samples. So n is 4, that means matrix twiddle factor matrix is 4 into 4. To find out the value of twiddle factor in matrix form, first is this is the formula of twiddle factor, that is twiddle factor wn raised to power kn is equal to e raised to power minus j 2 pi kn over capital N. Capital N is n point DFT. Now n is 4-point DFT, so the range of k and n is 0 to 3. So twiddle factor W4 in matrix form has k is 0 to 3 and n is also 0 to 3. So multiply rows and column, that is twiddle factor raised to power 0, twiddle factor raised to power 0. This is 1 into 1, twiddle factor 1. 1 into 2 is twiddle factor 2. 1 into 3 is twiddle factor 3. This one is 2 into 1 is 2, twiddle factor 2. Twiddle factor 4, 2 into 2 is 4. 2 into 3 is 6. 3 into 0 0. 3 into 1 is 3. 3 into 2 is 6. 3 into 3 is 9. So first is twiddle factor 0. According to this, kn is 0. That means e raised to power minus j pi 0 by 4. Capital N is 4. E raised to power minus 0 is 1. So twiddle factor 0 value is 1. Next is twiddle factor 1, that is e raised to power minus j 2 pi 1 by 4, that is e raised to power minus j pi by 2. By Euler's identity, it becomes cos 2 pi by 2 minus j sin pi by 2. Cos 90 is 0, sin 90 is 1, it becomes minus j. Then next is twiddle factor 2. Twiddle factor 2 is equal to, by putting kn is equal to 2, it becomes e raised to power minus j 4 pi by 4, that is minus e raised to power minus j pi, that is equal to cos pi minus j sin pi. Cos pi is minus 1, sin pi is 0, so twiddle factor 2 value is minus 1. And next is twiddle factor 3, e raised to power minus j 2 pi 3 by 4 is equal to e raised to power minus j 3 pi by 2. So cos pi by 3 pi by 2 minus j sin 3 pi by 2. Cos 3 pi by 2 is 0. Sin 3 pi by 2 is minus 1. Minus into minus is plus j. Now we already discussed about the cyclic property of twiddle factor, in which we discussed cyclic property is also called periodicity property, in which the value of twiddle factor repeats itself after a fixed number of samples or number of points. Now DFT is 4-point DFT. That means the twiddle factor value repeats after 4 points. First 4 points are 0 to 3, then twiddle factor 0 value is equal to twiddle factor 4 is equal to twiddle factor A, and twiddle factor 1 is equal to twiddle factor 5, twiddle factor 9. Twiddle factor 2 is equal to twiddle factor 6 up to twiddle factor 10 and up to so on, and twiddle factor 3 is equal to twiddle factor 7, twiddle factor 11 up to so on. This all we have already discussed in our previous lecture, that is DFT as linear transformation matrix. So therefore twiddle factor 4 value is equal to twiddle factor 0. Now twiddle factor 0 value is 1, therefore twiddle factor 4 value is also 1. Twiddle factor 6 value is equal to twiddle factor 2, that is minus 1. and twiddle factor 9 is equal to twiddle factor 1, that is minus j. By calculating all these values, put these values in this matrix form. So this twiddle factor in matrix form as this. Now the question is, in question our first step is to find out the DFT of x of n. Now this is the value of twiddle factor. This is x of n sequence is 1 2 3 1 in matrix form. Then by solving this matrix by first row and first column, it become 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1. Then 1 minus 2j minus 3 plus j. 1 minus 2 plus 3 minus 1. Then 1 plus 2j minus 3 minus j. It becomes j 7 minus 2 minus j 1 minus 2 plus j. Then second step is to find out the DFT of second sequence, that is h of n in matrix form. So the formula is h of n is equal to twiddle factor in matrix form into h of n. Again we know the value of twiddle factor, just calculated in our first step. So twiddle factor h of n, as this is the value of twiddle factor and this is h of n sequence, that is 4 3 2 2. So by solving this matrix by rows and column multiplication, element by element multiplication, we obtain 11 2 minus j 1 2 plus j. Our third step is multiply x of k and h of k, means multiply x of n DFT and h of n DFT to find out the output y of k. So third step is y of k is equal to x of k into h of k. X of k is 7 minus 2 minus j 1 minus 2 plus j. H of k is 11 2 minus j 1 2 plus j. Multiply 7 into 11 as 77. Multiply minus 2 minus j with 2 minus j, it becomes minus 5. 1 into 1 1. Multiply this and this, minus 5. Our last step is, this is our output y of k. Now last step is find out the IDFT of this y of k, that is y of n. We already know the formula of IDFT, that is y of n is equal to 1 divided by n, twiddle factor conjugate y of n. So and capital N is 4, so it becomes 1 by 4. This is the value of twiddle factor conjugate, and this value as of y of k, that is 77 minus 5 1 minus 5 in matrix form. Twiddle factor conjugate means the imaginary term positive becomes negative and negative becomes positive. This is negative, so it becomes positive, and it positive becomes negative. So find out this is the value of twiddle factor conjugate. Now by solving this matrix by rows and columns multiplication, element by element multiplication, it becomes 1 by 4 68 76 88 76. So by dividing 1 by 4, it becomes 17 19 22 and 19. This is the y of n, that is the IDFT of y of k. So this is y of n 17 19 22 19. That is the third method of circular convolution, that is DFT and IDFT. We can also verify the result by using any other two methods, that is matrix method and graphical method. In all the methods, the result will be same. So this is all about the third method of circular convolution, that is using DFT and IDFT. DFT is discrete Fourier transform. So these are the main steps to perform the third method, that is DFT and IDFT. Again, first step is first find out the DFT of first sequence, whether it is x of n, h of n or any other. So first is to obtain the DFT of first sequence. In this case we assume x of n. So DFT of x of n is x of k or x of n in matrix form. that is capital X, and a small x as sequence, input sequence. Next is find out the DFT of second sequence, that is h of n. Then multiply these two to obtain output y of n or y of k. Then last step, find out the IDFT of this y of n, that is y of n. So this is all about DFT and IDFT method. So these are the three methods of circular convolution. First method is graphical method, second one is matrix method, and third one is DFT and IDFT method. In this main question is why the result of circular convolution and linear convolution is not same. Because in circular convolution, input sequence and output sequence having equal number of samples, but in linear convolution we are having different methods, different number of samples. Suppose x of n, first sample sequence having 3 samples and second sequence having 4 samples. So range, it is not necessary to having the same range in linear convolution. That's why the result of circular and linear convolution is not same. In our next lecture we will study how we can obtain the same result from linear convolution and circular convolution. This is all about our today's lecture. Thank you.